Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Star Talk Show. Today is 2019, December 7th, Saturday, 12 o'clock, San Francisco time. Good morning, guys. Papa Moon and Nabi and Nem11. So today's topic is half of it is gonna be Emacs and live coding, some Emacs stuff, and yes, Emacs coding and let's see, talk show. It's in the description. Okay, so today's topic is in the description, so we can see. I'm gonna talk something about something. Okay, start command log mod. So you can see all my Emacs commands on the left window. Okay, there. So let me adjust the window, and we are good to go. So, any questions, you guys? Anything interesting? Type in the chat. Okay. Then we are going to begin. But first of all, let me show you this. Okay. So I'm working on this page. This is Windows shortcut frequently asked questions. Some how to disable the sleep key, how to disable caps lock, how to disable Windows logo key, and things like that. How to set a shortcut to launch an app. So this is written in 2009, beginning 2009. So every few years I try to update it. And writing a blog is not easy. I mean, there's lots of tedious tasks. But anyway, today I found, for example, you see it says here, no built-in way to do that with Windows Vista or Windows 7. So disable caps lock or Windows logo key. You cannot do that with Windows by default. Using Windows GUI. At least not in Windows Vista or Windows 7. So this article is pretty old. But anyway, I noticed the word built-in, and I don't like it because I'm particular about these kind of things. You see the word built-in there, I'm using it here. It has a hyphen. The word built-in using a hyphen is actually standard. So let me look up. So let me show you. Okay. So you call the command to look up the web search. So you can see Merriam-Webster dictionary. That, by the way, that's a words dictionary. Okay, don't use that. Use this one or freedictionary.com. So anyway, you can see the built-in word. It's either built-in without hyphen or with hyphen, but I don't like that. So what I want is, for example, let me do this. Okay, so what I want is built-in without hyphen. And but before I make a change, I want to be sure that this is also proper, because I'm meticulous about these things, English writing styles. Even though I do make grammar mistakes, but almost the way you see my writings, almost every way down to how things are spelled is in control. I am in tight control of it. So there are a lot ignorant programmers, native American, English speakers, white people. They see my writings. They say, "Oh, Sally is the worst writing." No, you don't know how to write. Okay, because well, I'm not going to give into a history about the whole thing or my qualifications because I've done that in previous videos. So anyway, I want the built-in word to be. I want to be without hyphen, but usually before I do that, I have to make sure that is accepted. For example, so let's search, and so far the Merriam-Webster, I have not found it to say that the built-in without hyphen is also standard. I mean, it's a variation. So I haven't seen that, but however, you see it in Wiktionary, this grassroots version of no, not here, Wiktionary. Okay, so for example here, See also all pages beginning with built-in with a hyphen, or built-in without hyphen, or built-in with a space. So actually, that does not mean it is So actually, right now I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to change so far. Actually, it needs more research. Oh, there it is. I found it here. Yeah, I saw it before. So you see the word. You see the on Wiktionary they have built in without hyphen or space, or and they say also see built in with a hyphen and space. Anyway, so here is an instance of confirmation. Meaning that at least this is somewhat popular usage. Orthography. By the way, this kind of thing is called orthography. Because if you want to go technical about this is not about spelling, because it's about involving hyphen and space or without. So this is called orthography, technically speaking, in linguistics. And also you might ask the more general question about in English writing. We have tons of words with hyphen. Sometimes the similar cases like this building, like sometimes you have for example, email. Email begin with it stands for electronic mail, and it begins with a dash, dash mail. Then it just today it's just email, one word, without a dash or space. And in fact, today you might often see people just say mail it to me, meaning email sometimes. Okay, so you can study on these kind of issues. You can study the history of the changes, the evolution of words with hyphenated words or not. So that is my exploration on when I'm doing writings, and it went into a tangent into lots of lookup and research. So actually, I was going to change all my website built-in to without a hyphen, but I'm not sure right now. I don't want to do it now. So anyway, so I'm talking about that topic. So okay, so let's close that. Let's go to today's talk show, and let's go to today's talk show page. So Nabi says Google Ngram Viewer shows if it's popular. Okay, you want to do it? Good morning, Alan. So Nabi, do the research for me. Google Ngram. Google Ngram. You can use that. It's one of the tool. Okay, so Google Ngram. So before we talk about, first of all, we talked about built-in hyphenation, or built-in, okay, or built-in. So we have three variations, and the question is about the orthography and the evolution of hyphenated words. So that's a topic of study. And meanwhile, since we are talking about that, let's go to XAS Wordy English. From the haughty emotions of lexicon, stylistic concerns, decipherment of grammar and idioms, linguisticality, literature, and logicality. This is my wordyenglish.com website. So let's go to the homepage. Then it says the lure of vocabulary, the depth of literature, the question of style, the logic of linguistics, the ills of English, and the cure by writing. That's what I do. Okay. So those of you, there are a lot of people, they flame me for everything, because I hate us, because I'm. Anyway, let's, I don't want, anyway, so let's go to I want to talk about, I want to mention, so I collect vocabularies. Okay, this is another big topic. I did a video about this several months ago, one or two. Anyway, so I have an obsession about collecting words, vocabulary. So, in fact, that's how I learned English. So anyway, I just want to show you I have a collection of hyphenated words. So you can see, by the way, this list is like 20 years old, 20, 30 years old. So for example, these are collection of hyphenated words. Okay, so I don't have JavaScript there. So let's go to a page where I have JavaScript on. Okay, so new page. Why don't we create a new page? Okay, Xali hyphenated words. Let's see if we can find that. There it is. Wordy English hyphenated words. So we have this is a collection of hyphenated words. Okay, that's a mistake. That shouldn't be like that. Well, okay, let's fix it. Let's fix it right now. Let's go back to Emacs, open the page, search for H2. Wait, what? Is this actually page 2? Wait, where does the page 2 come from? Oh, search for H1. Okay, so that's a mistake somewhere. That shouldn't be there. Delete it. Okay, anyway, back here. So you can let's do random. So you have words like hand up, ad lib. I forgot what ad lib is. Oh yeah, so let's read it. Example of the usage. Ad lib. What does it mean? So it says when he was showing how a next workstation could be used to query a database that ran on another company's server, the next machine crashed, jobbed, ad-libbed, gamely. That's how you know it was live. Okay, so this is from a book on Steve Jobs. So I read this book in 1998 or something like that. So the book is Steve Jobs and the next big thing, 1993, by Randall E. Strauss. He is a historian. Okay, he's writing. So Steve Jobs, he's a guy who created Next Machine. Do you guys know? I have lots of photos collecting on Next Machine's keyboards and stuff. I wonder if I should go into that. So we have already a lot of topics. So anyway, so on this page you can see all the hyphenated words. So what does ad-lib mean? So it says, did I give a definition here? No, usually I do not give definition. Do you know why? Because it turns out when you are learning something, you learn it. If it's more difficult to learn, you remember it better. So I do not give definitions. So if you want to understand, you have to like look up yourself. Then you remember. So for example, let's search ad-lib. There it is. Intransitive, to improvise and deliver extemporaneously, meaning without preparation. So Steve Jobs is demonstrating, is doing a demo on his next machine, very expensive, and the server, there's something wrong. The server crashed, and he says, "That's how you know it was live." Okay. So he's recounting a story of Steve Jobs. So anyway, this page is a collection of words with hyphenation. Face Off. Remember, there's a movie named Face Off, starring. Good morning, Danielle Langlois. Do you guys remember who stars in the movie Face Off? What's his name? He's a star, and he also starred in Leaving Las Vegas. What's his name? How do you? So guys, do you know? So Daniel Langlois says, wait, what's the definition? The definition is to improvise and deliver extemporaneously, ad-lib. Okay, so that is ad-lib. You just say something on the spot without preparation. John Travolta and someone else. Oh, Face Off. Oh, yeah, right. But I was thinking the someone else guy. Nick Cage, yes, Nicholas Cage. That's the guy. Face Off. So so when I read, I used to do it. I don't do it now. I stopped doing this since like 15 years ago, since 2005, since 2010, because you get old and it becomes anyway. So it's my habit, and in fact, it's my obsession that whenever I read some word I don't understand or not quite sure the exact meaning, I look up, and usually I also write it down. So I have a collection of hyphenated words here. So larger, for example, larger in life, larger than life, about face. So we have face off, then we have about face. Now about face is like that. It's like Sharpton or reverse kind of. Then you have turnkey. Yeah, turnkey solutions is which some companies use that name as a company name. It's turnkey solution. Double cross, goody two shoes. Now that's an idiom. Goody two shoes. Cul-de-sac. So anyway, so these are hyphenated words. Now, so when if you are interested in linguistics, literature, writings, you would be interested in these kind of things, and you wonder. For example, we can ask, can this word, will this word cul-de-sac ever at some point becomes without the hyphen, just Culdesac. In this case, no, it's not likely. So we have avant-garde, we have cloak and dagger, and anyway, so we have many of these things. So that's about hyphenated words. Okay, so let's just so let's put into my Talk Show page. So we have a record of the topics we talked about. Okay, that's two things. I'm going to read the comments. Okay, and what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What do you mean name 11? And name 11, where do you came from? Outsourcing resources to Nabi, yeah. so yesterday I was doing. So yesterday we did a talk on Emacs Dev. Okay, so let's go to Talk Show index page. So yesterday we did. Let's magnify. So we did this Linux firewall IP table and networking and how to contribute to Emacs. I gave a kind of a who is who in the Emacs Dev, people for the past 20 years, kind of, and the day before yesterday, it's also a big rant. It's also a Emacs topic. I did a big rant on Emacs undo redo. So of you Emacs people, if you haven't read it already, check it out. It's a 1 hour long video. So I have done a lot of videos, 1 hour a day. So go read, go watch them. Okay, you guys, if you got nothing to do, because many of the topics I repeated. But anyway, I was going to say. So yes, because of my character, I sometimes I swear a lot. And yesterday I felt bad a little bit because sometimes I noticed, when you sometimes like online arguments, I become I swear a lot and somewhat mean to people. Not to people, but I began to swear a lot. Sometimes that's because I'm not feeling well, or I'm feeling pressure or something. There's pain. So anyway, yesterday I felt that like I did some of that unnecessarily. Especially I was not. I was not. I was kind of being mean to Bot. Okay, Bot. Is Bot? Are you here? So if you are watching Bot, sorry about that, because he mentioned he was talking about Unix Linux firewall tool. Then I started to flame it for 10 minutes, saying it's the worst shit possible. Yes, yeah. So sorry about that, Bot. Okay, so that's about that. Let's go to the next topic. So we got a lot of things to talk about. So let's see. So Emacs Lisp. So the next two things I'm thinking of going into Emacs Lisp. Are you guys interested? Like I'm going to do a live coding of Emacs Lisp. I want to do that, and then okay. Before we do that, let's talk about sponsorship. Okay, you guys, people, sponsorship. It's time to pay. So you go to my keyboard blog. Okay, and I have some interesting things I want to show you. Okay, Xali keyboard. Xali keyboard. There it is. Let's go to it. There's many interesting things here. Okay, so let's wait for this video to turn up. It's loading. Why is it not showing? What the fuck? Okay, go to Xali keyboard. Let's try in Firefox. Okay, so the video format is wrong. Anyway, that's a very interesting homemade trackball. Okay, so anyway, the thing I want to mention. Okay, buy a buy a fanny pack. Okay, so this is good for nerds. This is what I use actually. Where is mine? So actually, let me show you. Let me demonstrate mine. Okay. This is my fanny pack. So that's the utility belt of a nerd. So I don't use wallets a lot, guys. You know, you have wallets. I've never used wallet in my life. So this is what I use. And so you guys can go buy it. You know, I make some bucks, and there are some other interesting things people bought for my Amazon links. I don't know who they are, so it's anonymous. I just know, you know, the things people buy. So you can see. Let me show you some of them. Okay, so you guys, if you guys go buy it. There is the link. And let's look at some of these things. You wait for Amazon to load. So we have here a water flosser. That's an interesting idea. You have a floss for your teeth, but now they have a water flosser. I've never seen that before. Then you have, okay, this is a amplifier for you guys nerds. So this is a this is digital to analog converter for headphone amplifier. Okay, $74. So for you guys working a company, you go buy it. You got money. And for this, in order to use this, of course, you need to have a expensive headphone, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. You need to have one of these fancy headphones, $127. Okay, so let's look at the next thing. and this one is a pressure cooker, and this one is good for rice. So if you want to taste the rice, the Asian rice, this is what you want. You buy this, okay, rice. So among the hackers and gamers or the memers, there is a slang, rice something, rice something. I forgot what it means exactly. So what does it mean? Anyone? The jargon among gamers, rice something like I forgot what it means. And it happens in keyboard community a lot too. So this one is a humidifier. Okay, so it's for places that's too dry, such as California, you need a humidifier. And let's look at what's the next one. Now this one is for those of you who have cats. Nabi. So am I still doing good? Comments, okay, guys. So this is some kind of a cat litter, I guess. Platinum slide easy clean up clumping cat litter. Okay, cat litter stuff. And this one, a lot of you will be interested. You programming nerds. This one, I need to buy one. I need to buy one for backup. So this is SanDisk 1 terabyte portable SSD external drive. Okay, that's good. Close them. Close. Okay, that's about that. And keyboard stuff. Adlib. Okay, adlib. So good morning, sound toxin. So close that. And sound toxin says rise as a verb started out referring to modifying crappy cars with things like extra lights, I think. Oh. But in the tech world, it's like customizing how your desktop looks. Okay, yeah, okay. Battle station. So, so keyboard block, close that. Back to, so I'm going to start to code Emacs list. So what do you guys think? Because Emacs list is kind of technical. Only if you code Emacs list, you will be interested. So let me know. Okay, I wait for 1 minute. If you like Emacs stuff, say it. Or else we gonna, let's see, 27 minutes. Or else we gonna talk about Unicode or stuff. So I think I'll just start to code Emacs list then. Yeah, unless you guys have something else to say. Okay, so one of the first thing is write a command to increase font. Because, for example, I close this buffer, close, reopen. That is my default font. But when I do a video, I prefer the font to be a bit larger, like that. So, I do have a command that change the font just by pressing a key. You see, I can magnify, pressing a single key. But it does not change on all the other buffers. For example, I copy this new page, paste it here. I only magnify the current buffer. I want it to happen to globally for every window and buffer frame. So I want to write that command, and that command will be easy to write in 5 minutes. So let's do that. Okay, so before we do that, let's see what Nabi and Alan says. So Nabi says, I want to know how to get pedal style linting in Emacs. PyDoc style linting in Emacs. What do you mean? PyDoc style. So PyDoc So I guess PyDoc is a tool for Python, and I suppose it's some kind of linting tool. And you run a program on a Python source code, it will possibly reformat the formatting style of the source code, and possibly also give you some warnings. So that's PyDoc linting. But what do you mean PyDoc style linting in Emacs? So I don't understand. Okay, Nabi, say it. Say it. Let me know what do you mean exactly. So Alan says, do you ever use different input methods in Emacs to type dialects? No, I don't. In fact, I have a system, and I want to tell you what's the easiest way to do that. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, how to type dialectics in Emacs. I mean, is that what the focus of a question or something else? Let me know, because are you talking about just one or two accents in a letter, such as accented E? For example, this is what I do. Or you talking about, for example, I can do this too. Whoops, not that. What is that? I forgot. Okay, so for example, I can also do that, but I want the um, oh yeah, so I want that. Okay, so you have all these kind of characters. That's how I type it. I'm using right now. I'm using the package XAR Math Input to do it, and it's actually one of the most efficient way to do it. Yeah, actually, so I already started to talk about it. So it's a if all you want if what you want is to type math symbols or some of these characters, then the best thing, XAR input mod is one of the best things. So let me show you the name. Okay, so here is the command name. That's the command name, and it's in this package. And you open it, go to the top. Here's the source code. Here's a URL. You open the URL, show in browser, so you can see that's a URL. So it's on Mailpa. You can download it and use it. It has over 500 math symbols, and it's also you can add your own easily, trivially, just by one line. You can add your own. So as far as inputting Unicode, there are quite a lot of ways. But one thing I can tell you is that do not use whatever the way that is built in Emacs. Those are very inefficient. Okay, so let's go to, for example, let's search for Xali Unicode. Actually, search for Xali Unicode Emacs. Okay, so then you will find Unicode tutorial here, this page. This page talks about all the things you need to know about inputting Unicode or related issues, such as how do you find the character's name, how do you find its code point, and things like that. So let's copy the page. Let's put it here. Then let's also copy this page and put it here so we can. Okay. Then let's copy that, put that there. Okay, close this buffer, save it, reopen, magnify, show that, go to the browser, refresh. Okay, we got the topics there. So let me go back to read Alan's question. Oh yeah, so for entering emoji, okay. Yeah, so one of the best way I would recommend is you just download and use my package. XAR Math Input Mod. You can add your own. You can add your emoji. In fact, the other way, if you do not need the whole set of math symbols, then you can just do a brief. For example, let's say I want an emoji. Let's say actually there are so many ways to do it. Okay, so for example, I can type this hot, and I can press the key using the XOR math input mod. So you got a hot, and suppose I want. Let's go to Unicode. Okay, so let's open my Unicode website. Let's see. Let's say I want emoji apple. Okay, let's say that. Let's say I want cucumber. Cucumber is a nice fruit. Yeah, we want that. Okay, so oh god, that doesn't look good. Stupid Emacs. Let's go back to Apple. So let's say I have an apple. It looks ugly. So anyway, so there's a long story. Emacs, the GNU Emacs Richard Stallman told people to remove code so that emoji looks ugly, just like Linux on the Mac, because they don't want the Richard Stallman don't want Emacs to be superior than the Emacs on Linux. Anyway, so suppose I want this apple. Okay, so suppose I want to type this apple often. So how do I do? Copy it. Go to my abbrev. Wait, not this. Go to my abbrev file, and just paste it here. Okay, so let me magnify this. So you can see I paste here. Then let's say APL. Okay, well, let's say apple. Then copy that, paste it here. Okay, so I have this line. This is my abbrev file. So evaluate it. Open a new buffer. Now I just type apple and it becomes apple. So something. And today I ate an apple. Then it becomes apple. So that's how easy it is. So now you can just have all your emojis here. So in fact, I have quite a few of my own emojis. For example, thumb up. I'm not sure that's the no. So good tea. Yeah, good tea. Okay, so that's a thumb up. And oh my god. You see, when I type oh my god, that becomes that. So I have some of my own emojis. Hot. Okay, hot doesn't work. Hot tea. No. So so that's anyway. So that's how, for example, I have quite a few others. Okay, that's right arrow, left arrow. You can create yourself. I have a live stream video about how to set up a brief and demonstration of all these several months ago. Just go to YouTube and search for it. So I don't want that. Evaluate, close. Okay. Then shrink. And what are we talking about? A brief. Okay, so Emacs a brief. Emacs a brief. Okay. Emacs a brief. You search for it and you'll find the page. Oh, okay, the page is already here. So all this what I have talked about is all on this page. So guys, for you guys Emacs users, just go to read my Emacs tutorial. There's tons of goodies. So instead of every day people asking me repeatedly, how do you do this or that? It's all there. It's all there. All you have to do is just go there, take half an hour to read it. Okay, so that's about Unicode. I mean, does that answer? I mean, the question. Okay, cool. Input method. Yeah. So, use a brief. A brief is the best. If you just have a few your own emoji, you want all math symbols. But if you want a system, like all the math symbols, you could use the XOR math input mod. That's a package. Now again, there are quite a few other ways to do it, but these two should be enough for you, for anyone. Okay, so that's about that. So let's go back here, close that, and close tabs to save memory. Unicode emoji. Okay, let's copy that, close it, back to Emacs. Let's paste it. So we have all these topics. Where I will put in the YouTube description, so later on people can know what are the topics we talked about. Okay, how to how to type dialectic? Same thing for dialectics. For these accented letters, same thing. You just create an emoji. I mean, create a brief, or use the some math input mod. So okay, so that's about that. Let's see what's the next one. Let's see. We already have that. Yeah. So let's copy that here. Actually, so copy that here. Okay. So let's see the comments. Like typing Quebec with the right accent or whatever. Oh yeah. So that one you can do too. Let's just demo that. Okay. So let's demo that. Copy that. QUEBEC, right? And then you have of that there. Okay, so make that, and let's say QB. That's QB for Quebec, and capitalize. Okay, okay. Evaluate it. New buffer. Magnify. QB. QB. There we have it. So it's super nice. Super nice. Okay, just wondering how you approach this. Okay, so Moderator says, do you think it's worth investing time to closure? I find it quite interesting coming from OOP. Okay, yeah, closure is nice. I talked about closure for 1 hour in my past videos, so look for that. In fact, I talked about more than once, at least 2 videos on closure. So you might check on that. Basically, I like Clojure the language, but I don't like the way it is intertwined with Java. Yeah, so I did more than 1 hour of it. Check the old videos out. That's what I'm saying, because I got questions asking me frequently asked questions. Just go to my Talk Show page. Then you have an index here, or you go to YouTube. Just search for Xadi closure. You'll find it. So anyway, so back to hyphenated words. Close that. Let's go back to Talk Show. Uh, I don't want the Quebec anymore. Close it. Close it. Reopen. Magnify. Uh, and put it here. Hyphenated words. Actually, we already have it. Okay, so actually remove that. Okay, show in browser. So what is so Nabi says I see some packages for Emacs, but they come with their own linters. I want to be able to choose my own. They don't come with their own linters. Usually they have a command that calls the external linter program typically. Okay, yeah, as far as, yeah, most of them do not. It's not the case where linters are written in Emacs itself. It can be done, of course. Yeah, but Nabi, I don't know what's your question exactly. Like, show a concrete example. Like, I have for example, I'm you. Okay, so I'm using. So I started to explore Emacs. I'm using this python.xa.el. A name of the package. And in that package, I saw this command, but it doesn't do something I want. If you ask that question, you get answers. You know, um, because it's like I don't know. Your question is like if kind of general. I don't know what is the question. So do you have Lenny and Shrug? No, I don't know what is Lenny. Cool input method. Oh, those kind of things. I have it, of course. I have. So today let's talk about Unicode. Yeah. So let's just talk random on Unicode, and I think in fact we can shut down soon. Unicode, Unicode tutorial. So let's go to Unicode, and we want there's some interesting things like wait, not this. Okay, so oh, I need to go to my Unicode page. Wait, fruit. Where is my Unicode page? There, fruit emoji. Okay, so fruit emoji. Then you go down. You go down, down, down. Then you go to. Actually, I want to let's just go to Sali Unicode. There it is. And go all the way down. On the left, you can see some of the interesting Japanese style ASCII art. ASCII art, you guys know ASCII art. These are kind of like ASCII art, except they are no longer, I mean, you don't call them ASCII art anymore. Not, it becomes, because today you are using Unicode. I mean, these are what's known as ASCII art, but the Japanese people are using Unicode to do it. So here is some interesting examples I've collected. But also look at the first one. Okay, this is all text. They are very creative. They spend hours to create this text and to use text to Unicode characters to create an animation that is actually 3D. That's what they've done. So it's very interesting. But then you also have these Unicode smileys, a bunch of Japanese style Unicode smileys. I have like collected them. So that one is called Lenny. I don't know about that one. So anyway, these are for fun. But in general, I don't like these. Okay, you know why? Because I'm a when it comes to text, I'm kind I want a formal language. Okay, I do not want any possible occurrence where the brackets are mismatched. So in the entire, basically almost in the entire 6,000 articles of my websites, there is no one place where you only have mismatched bracket. Like, for example, when you are using a bracket for a smiley, for example, let me show you. Magnify. Okay, so for example, this is a common smiley, but I don't use that. Okay, because this screws up the matching. So you have a matched bracket now. So I have an obsession about this. I don't want that. So the proper way for this to work, not that. Okay, so the proper way, for example, I'm gonna call my XOR math input. So when I want the smiley, I press the key, then it becomes that. It becomes an emoji. That is the proper way. Okay, so if you want a smiley, this, I don't like smileys in the first place, not just because the mismatched bracket, but that came later. But the reason, in the beginning, I didn't like smileys because why? Because they are a hack. I don't like hack of any kind. I don't like the entire Unix, Linux, because they are all hacks. They tends to be often hack. Just make it fast. And I don't like the word hacker. Whenever I see something that's named hack or hacking hacker, the hacker types, they love it. The Unix philosophy type of people or Linux people, they love it. They enjoy it. The power people. But when I see something that's hack, I hate. I despise. I despise the word, the concept hacking hackers. Okay, including the happy hacking keyboard. Happy hacking keyboard. The worst keyboard possible. Okay, so, anything else? Maybe that's it for today. So let's see. Hey, Polo, uh, alieny, Paulo alieny. How do you copy a keybind? How do you copy a keybind? Like, if I want to copy MX to MQ. Oh yeah, you want translate, right? That's what you mean. You want a translation. Is that what you mean? So you want it to be such that whenever you type meta X, it becomes meta Q. Is that what you mean? Say yes if you let me know. I think that's what you are saying. Right? Right? So if you want to do that, let's go to Emacs blog. Okay, so so these days, the for you guys Emacs people, all the people who are watching my videos, um, just read my tutorials because I spent 15 years. You have the best, the most condensed, the amount. If you spend the time on my Emacs tutorial, the ratio of the time spent versus what you learn divided by the time spent is the maximum of all Emacs resources out there. Okay, and you are going to learn the most logically correct style of concept. Okay, I'm telling you the um well, I'm saying I'm the best, okay. But anyway, I'm telling you, you're gonna get the best concept, the best. How shall I say it? Okay, so it's like a mathematical approach. Okay, so I'll tell you what it is not. Okay, by by way of communication, I can tell you what it is not. Then you all know what I mean by why it is mathematically the best or something like that. So it is not, for example, my Emacs tutorial and also my other programming language tutorials. What they are not, they are not in a style of storytelling. In many programming language tutorials, they like to be in a fashion of storytelling. For example, hi guys. For example, introduction to Emacs Lisp. They will say, "Oh, I programmed in this language C++ and Pascal, and one day I discovered Emacs Lisp, and oh my God, they tell a story like a tale." Or sometimes they want to ingest humor, like they want the reading, they want the tutorial to be funny. They want to have humors, like a little snippet, or some, like, also it happens often that you have a snippet of quote, nonsensical idiotic quote at the top. For example, if you read GNU, Donald Knuth book, The Art of Programming, in each chapter or section, it will begin with a quote, the fucking idiots. The quote is supposed to be like somewhat humorous, somewhat capture the spirit of this chapter, it's like that, okay. And this is somewhat fashionable. uh, and for example, there's a book I think some of you are reading. I don't remember who. The Eloquent JavaScript. Okay, it's a good book. Okay, it's Eloquent JavaScript. It's a good book for beginners, like you never coded anything before. There's a book, Eloquent JavaScript, very popular. That book is the epitome of a storytelling style. Like you read it, in 1,000 words, only 200 words are the actual content. The rest 800 words are about, like, setting a mood, setting a mood or something. Like he's telling a story about peacocks, about animals, about whatever. So that's eloquent JavaScript. So I that's the worst book. I would not the worst. It's a great book, but it's the worst writing style. It's in a writing style I despise the most. Okay, eloquent. but he is a JavaScript expert. He knows, I would say he has more experience in coding JavaScript than me. I would say that, but because he has written JavaScript compilers in JavaScript. But anyway, the book, the writing style of this book, that's what I'm talking about. It's in a style I despise. I mean, I don't like. Okay, this his book is it's a epitome, a great example of the storytelling example style of writing. So in my programming language or Emacs Lisp or Emacs Tutorials, you'll see none of it. None of it. Every sentence is to the core. It's essential. It's necessary. Every sentence. Okay, so I'm talking about one of the writing style. Okay, so programming writing style. That's a big topic. I can go on about that for 1 hour or more. Um, so let's see, where am I? So let's look at that programming style. Okay, so we are talking about writing style of programming language doc and tutorial. That is truly a big topic, because I'm going to talk about that for 10 hours, because I have a collection. I have a collection of articles on it too. Doc for dummies. In fact, we haven't talked about this topic for a long time, for several months now. It will be good to talk about it maybe next day. So anyway, what I've done is giving you one example of programming tutorial writing style, or documentation writing style. And Python documentation is also the worst. Python doc for dummies, the worst, one of the worst. Okay. For example, you go to the Python documentation, they have they have keep this under your pillow my fucking ass. Okay, excuse me. I don't want to. I don't want to start to become like angry rant. That's not needed. But anyway, you do have Python documentation if you have read it. Wait. Let me go to, where am I? Close that. Refresh. Close that. What is this page? Emoji. Close that. Emacs Basics. Close that. Okay. Eloquent JavaScript. Okay. Close that. Close that. Close doc. Yeah. So Python documentation. They have a word. Keep this under your pillow. That is very to me. To my personality, is very. You see here, right here. You see, keep this under your pillow. What the idiocy! Python doc, not it's not just little things like that. Okay, this is fine. By the way, I'm not. This is not nothing wrong with it. It just so happens that style, these little jokes, little humor, is not my style. Okay, that's all I'm saying. There is nothing wrong with that style. Okay, however, the Python documentation is shit. Okay, the writing style, the writing quality, the organization, the searchability is pure shit. So anyway, that topic is a big topic. We are not gonna go into. So anyway, I talked about one of the writing style, but the other thing I want to mention, let me mention quickly, is that some of the programming writing styles, for example, Python doc is a great example of the worst documentation. Okay, so we talked about the humor or storytelling style of writing of documentation. Okay, that's one thing I don't like. With nothing wrong with it, but it's just a style I don't like. You will not see it in my tutorials. So that's one thing. Now, the other thing is some of the style, right? Programming doc or tutorial writing style, they are taking some kind of a computer science approach. Okay, they are taking a computer science approach. Now, Python doc is a good example of that. And Python doc is also a good example of storytelling. It's the worst shit possible. For example, let me show you this article. Okay, so this is from Python doc, and it's still there. I'm pretty sure in Python 3.3. This guy, he started to say, where is it? Let's see. Anyway, that's another topic. So I just want to mention that in some of the documentation, one of the style that happens frequently all over the programming industry is that they will take some kind of a computer science approach. They, like, when you are trying to explain something, you have a tendency to try to choke it up. You speak fancy jargons like linked list or memory. You start to talk about memory, pointers, references. You unnecessarily so. You started to talk like if you are a computer scientist, even if you are not. I mean, most vast majority of this documentation, they are written by basically idiots. Okay, basically by students. Vast majority of them. Unix man pages, Python documentation, everywhere, almost everywhere. Apache documentation, almost everywhere. They are written not by computer scientists at all. They don't know shit. They only they heard some jargons from computer science. They took they took some courses in university, so they know some of the jargons. They tend to, so these people, they try to make their writing filled with these words. They try to think. Yeah, but in fact, the so that's an approach. Okay, that's one of the style I'm talking about. One of the writing style. You see that all over. Python documentation is a good example. And okay, so what I'm saying is that this style I don't like neither. Okay, you will not find this style in my tutorial at all. You will not see any jargon unnecessarily so. If it's necessary, you will see it. If it's not necessary, you will not see it. For example, isn't that Einstein said, or was it the Einstein said something? I forgot who exactly. They said, if you cannot explain something to a child on the street in 3 minutes, then you don't understand it. Do you guys remember that quote? That quip from Einstein or Feynman or something. If you cannot explain something to a child on the street in 3 minutes, then you don't understand it. That is that in my point of view, that's very valid. Okay, so when I read a tutorial, you will not see none of these jargons because I don't like that style. But by the way, that style from writing things from a computer science point of view, it's not necessarily bad. Okay, that is actually valid style. So what is a good example of that style? Java documentation is good. Okay, Java documentation is professionally written, and it is in a style that is kind of formal. Okay, formal. So when it has a lot of jargons, for example, in Java documentation, you will see linked list, you will see data structure, array. It's formal, okay, and it's well done. It's written by people who know what they are talking about. Unlike the Python fuckheads and Python Perl, lots of documentation by these people. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so that's about that. So back to so this is again I should do this topic again in next video, but let's go. And also, actually, I've done a video on Python before, so you can watch that. Just search for Xali on YouTube, Xali Python. So anyway, the other thing, the reason I'm mentioning this is, let me summarize. Okay, I mentioned two styles: tell a tale style, or humor, tell a story style, and also the computer science point of view style. These two styles are not my styles. Okay, so you will not see none of it in my tutorial. Okay, that's why I'm mentioning it. So so you guys can read my tutorials if you like that. Okay, so Donald Knuth. Right, that's how do you pronounce his name? Knuth. Is it Knuth or Knuth? Is there a K? Let's see. Okay, Navi. Donald Knuth. I tend to pronounce the G because maybe I'm influenced by the GNU thing. Well, yeah. So it's Knuth. Donald Knuth. Yeah. So there is a K. A audible K there. So yeah, so I don't care about this if I learn programming and computer by myself. Okay, okay. So I think that's it for today. Uh, didn't get my stream notification. Where? Like what? Uh, Cowmoji. Oh, okay, Cowmoji. So how do you copy? Oh yeah, so you have a question. Oh yeah, so okay, so Polo, one more question. So that's it for today. So you go to my Emacs webpage, then you go to my Emacs webpage, then you go to oh yeah, key binding. So you have this section. This section is all about keys. There's a video. I have a JavaScript off, so you don't see it. You go to my website, you'll see it. So this is an index of all articles related to Emacs key binding. And one of them is talking about key remapping. Okay, so there it is. So this one. So if you want to remap keys, this is what you do. So let me see. Okay, let me check because there are subtleties. I remember. So let me check if it will does what you want. Oh, again, by the way, here is another way to insert Unicode, Alan, if you are still here. So another way to insert Unicode is you can define keys to do it. For example, F8 can press a key. So, and by the way, Paulo, there is subtleties. So hold on a second because I remember this you cannot use this to translate meta x to something because when it involves two keys it may have problems. So let me see. Wait. Okay. So wait. So let's see. So anyway, let's just try it. Okay. So let's just try it and we'll see. Let's magnify. So not too big. So let's remove Emacs this mod. Magnify. Okay, so remove that. So translate map, you want mx meta x to meta q. Let's say that. Okay, so let's say TT. Okay. So evaluate that. Oh, error. Oh yeah, so it says you cannot do it because you cannot do it. Yeah, so what is the error? I don't remember. Let's see. So I don't know if that meta x is your particular specific question or just in general any key. So anyway, so if you want to do the meta something, then you may not. This may not work, and I have to look. I have to read in detail, and because I wrote this, I forgot. This written in 2011. Inca code. I will check it. So what's Inca code? So that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Uh, bye guys. Oh, in general. Okay, so in general, uh, yeah. So it gets complicated. I don't think there is a general way for you to type any sequence of characters to be, any to be something else. Because how do you define when the key stops? That's one thing. Well, for meta X, so I don't have the answer right now because I don't know because I have to look. So for example, if this page doesn't answer, you have to go to Emacs list reference. Then you can read the details. Uh, so anyway, so thank you guys. Bye guys. Now, if you like my stuff, PayPal and Patreon. Okay, I have links on my website.